And then I'll do, my little thing over here.
Do
like that.
do your little dancey
Corvette.
dance. Corvette.
Exactly.
I can do that too.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Reggie.
And I'm Delaney.
And this is
the Delaney
and Reggie Show. Oh my gosh, you guys. We made it back to episode 2. And I'm so glad to be here. I tell you, we have a very special guest today.
Yes, we do.
We have a very special guest because I don't dress up for anybody. I dress up for 2 people. You said it earlier.
God.
And the person who we're going to be here telling you about today. Well, you guys, before we log off today, we want you to know one special thing.
Yes, stick around to the end of the video for a special trivia question about what you've watched today for a chance to win a $25 downtown gift card provided by the Division of Student Affairs.
I mean, who doesn't love money, okay? Okay, charge it to my card, please. But you guys, without further ado, let's get into the video.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special guest joining us. She is such a special person on our campus. She serves as the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer for Frostburg State, as well as the Assistant Vice President for Student Affairs. This is none other than Miss Robin Wynder.
Oh, y'all, and she is somebody who's so near and dear to my heart, and especially to this whole entire campus community. She's so loving and so kind and exudes so much passion that I even call her Auntie Robin. So without further ado, you guys, let's welcome my auntie, Miss Robin Wynder. Hey, girl, how you doing?
Hi, Delaney and Reggie. It's good to be here with you today. I'm glad we finally were able to make the time.
And I'm so glad that we could make the time too. I tell you, this semester has been a challenge in itself. I tell you, I know that Delaney can attest to that with all these projects and schoolwork, but I'm so glad that we could be here with you today.
Absolutely.
Now, with you being someone who is so very well accustomed to the Frostburg State community, it came to no surprise to me when I heard that you are a Frostburg State University alumni. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, what things about Frostburg State University's campus did you enjoy then that still play an important role in your life even today?
Well, I would say one thing was the friendships. We had a very small Black student population. Actually, Frostburg was about half the size that it is today in population. What was different, it was the 70s, and there was a major social movement at the time. So we got to interact, Black students and white students together a lot. There wasn't much other diversity at the time, but we did. And so that is a part that I carry with me, that we can get along, we can communicate, we can learn and grow together. And I try to bring that to my students today. Additionally, the friendships from then mean everything to me still today.
Oh, that is so sweet. I tell you, I love friendships. Friendships are timeless, and it's something that you truly never lose. And speaking of friends, that segues into our next question.
Yeah, Miss Wynder, when you rejoined the Frostburg community in the early 80s, you didn't join alone. You were accompanied by an incredible man who we have heard numerous great stories about, your husband, Mr. Bernie Wynder.
I even heard that he was called Mr. Frostburg.
And he even helped to transform Frostburg State through the admissions department in ways that no one ever thought possible. Ms. Wynder, how do you see that his efforts live on today on campus?
His efforts are evident in the population today, the student population at least. Like I said, when we first came to Frostburg, we weren't even 10% of the total population. And so we have had years where we've been 50%, and that fell off, but we're still, our Black student population and our racial minority student population overall is still very high, at least 40%. I unfortunately haven't checked the numbers this semester. We're a little off, because of COVID, but so you can see it when you see all of the diversity among the student body. Um, his legacy also lives on because there are still faculty and staff working on campus today who worked with him, who may have known him as a student, who knew him as a colleague, who valued the lessons that they learned from him. And so I still get stopped. I mean, it's been almost 8 years since he's been gone, and I still get stopped by people saying, Bernie taught me. So it's just a joy that his living was not in vain and his legacy lives on.
Miss Wynder, he sounds like an incredible individual who did so much for Frostburg's campus, and I think Reggie and I both know that if he were on Frostburg's campus today, he would continue to impact so many students.
Oh, yes, that is so true. That is so true. And I'm surprised to hear that, it was just 8 years. Oh my gosh, you are so strong. You are so passionate about what you do and carrying on his vision. We truly thank you for holding up that bloodstained banner, as they say, for what is right and what is positive. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, Ms. Wynder, as the Assistant Vice President for Student Affairs, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Officer. Ooh, girl, I like how that sounds. You better go ahead and work them, officer. Work them. What is your main focus, especially during these most disconnected times? Please tell us.
So right now, the office and my title is still relatively new. It's not been a year yet. But in the face of everything we're facing with the social uprisings, the pandemic, the economic fallout for people, people are under a lot of stress and pressure, but they have to hold on because the main focus that we should all have on campus in terms of DEI is that we can't keep doing things the way they've been done. We have to move forward. We are an institution of higher education, and as such, it is our responsibility to lead that charge. We should have the thought processes and the moral turpitude and the just motivation and desire to bring ourselves as individuals up, but also as an institution and then overall as a country, to bring us forward and be who we're supposed to be who we claim to be in these United States of the Americas. So helping people start learning, first gaining some understanding and awareness of who they are and how they show up in the world, and then who they want to be and how they want to show up in the world in terms of having positive relationships that ultimately benefit us all.
Wow, that is some extreme knowledge. That is some extreme knowledge and wisdom. And I'm surprised that only after 25 years on this earth, you have all that knowledge, honey. Let me tell you, as far as I'm concerned, you can turn 25 as many times as you want to because you surely are an inspiration. But just something to add. Miss Robin, you are such a major example to not only the African American community here on campus, but all of us on how to be peaceful, how to stay positive, and you breed contentment. And as far as I'm concerned, you are just always so proactive in what you do and loving to everybody. Can you please give an example to students today of how to, get through this time, how to stay motivated on what they need to do to get through it?
Well, Reggie, my contentment comes from my faith. So it would depend on each individual's own belief system. We all have one, even if it's that we don't have one. But in my faith, and also at my age, I know this too shall pass. And there is no point in getting hung up on things that you cannot change, but rather using that energy and that focus on first looking at yourself and doing all you can to become the best you can, and then gaining the knowledge and the skills that you need to be able to impact the world around you and know that you've done your best. And that's all, your best is all that you can do. Sometimes that leads to frustration, but I had to learn how to breathe through it and let it go. And that's what I try to help my students. That's what I try to help my students learn, because otherwise you could spiral down deeply. Um, Not saying to just let things be, but not let things tear you up inside to the point that you can't function. It doesn't do you or anyone else any good if you're so full of rage that's misdirected, um, that you can't accomplish anything and you actually end up tearing up some things. So, learning how to know the difference between what you can and can't impact, how, when, and where it's appropriate to do it, are all skill sets that I've developed over the decades I have lived.
Miss Wynder, you are truly a gift to this campus. We are so grateful for the impact that you've had on students for so long. Thank you.
Yes, yes. And you know, Delaney and I have definitely gleaned information on today.
Absolutely.
So we hope, and it is our prayer, that the students at home have gleaned and learned some information today. Not just the students, but anybody watching this. We hope that they walk away with something that helped them to advance their life and advance their relationships with others in this current day. So, Miss Robin, we thank you, and we can't wait to see you again. We want you to be safe out there until we come by that office, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, Bobcats, the trivia question for today, for a chance to win a $25 gift card to downtown Frostburg, is this. What was the name of Miss Robin Wynder's special friend that traveled back with her to Frostburg's campus in the early 80s, and what area of our campus did they most impact?
Clock's ticking, you guys. The first person to send their answer to Delaney's email will receive that $25 gift card to downtown Frostburg. I tell you, it's nothing like going downtown to Frostburg.
Downtown.
I love that song. Well, you guys, we thank you so much for visiting us today on the Delaney and Reggie Show. Oh my gosh, episode 2. Episode 2. Join us next time as we adventure on over to another part of the campus. I believe I smell Brady Health on the menu.
Yes.
So if you want to learn more information about that area, stay tuned. And also, if you need more information on the Student Affairs Division, please visit the website listed below.
Thank you so much for joining us for episode 2 of the Delaney and Reggie Show.
Yes, right here on YouTube. See you guys.